And some Gen Zers have even been, quote, revenge quitting, allegedly, their jobs in protest of the review process. That's when you quit in a stunning fashion designed to hurt your employer. Now, one leadership consultant recommends weekly check-ins, real-time feedback instead of the annual review. Emily, isn't every day a review in employment? I mean,
Yeah.
Coming out swinging. Yes, look, okay, so I read this. I forced myself to read this with an open heart and an open mind for Gen Z.
Yes.
Usually I'm critical. And there were some salient points in that why don't they have constant feedback so that it's, as they put it, so that it fosters growth rather than reeks of sort of judgment. But that being said, I found interesting that 38% would give up on a problem before it was solved if they couldn't self-service it. And you contrast that with baby boomers, only 11% was sort of disengaged. So I think that they do have a point that having constant feedback is helpful for growth.
Yes.
However, I think the sort of solution to bail is a little childish.
agree. You know, Laura, I think weekly check-ins make a lot more sense than like this annual review you dread and like anticipate.
Yeah, but listen, it's up to the company, right? And so wherever it is you're working, you're going to have to figure it out. It felt very whiny and entitled to me, this whole thing. I'm from a generation where once upon a time, I remember waiting hours for friends to call me back on a phone that plugged into a wall. You know, we didn't get the immediate text back from people. So it feels like we have this generation that is almost like a bunch of drug addicts and they have to have this hit of somebody telling them something. But yes, Kaylee, if your boss thinks maybe a weekly check-in is a good idea, that's great for them. The revenge quitting, though, I dare you to do that and then try to go get another job. Good luck.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, Harris, apparently baby boomers, they want yearly reviews. Gen Xers, they just want to be left alone. And Gen Z wants a weekly check-in. I don't know about millennials.
Wow, you can't make anybody happy in that scenario. Look, I'm with you, Laura. I think that the company sets the tone of what they want to do to manage measurement, you know, of how they're going to say whether or not you're hitting the mark or you're not. But we have a generation right now, and I'm raising one of these, you know, soon-to-be in college people, and I love her to death, but they want a lot of attention. And one way to get attention is to constantly ask for feedback in the United States of attention that we're in right now. And so what I've kind of told her is, if you impress well enough, you will never have to ask. So work really hard, let your work ethic and your dedication speak for you. Now, I can't have that conversation with every young person out there because they don't live in my household, but I would suggest it. It does work.
Speaker McCarthy, did you give annual reviews to each of your members?
No, but every 2 years I got to get the review from my constituents. It's the only thing, it's the only job that you know exactly how many people like you, an exact number of how many people dislike you. So.
Wow.
That's true.
I like
That's
that.
a lot of pressure.
Liking is separate from you are loved and everyone likes you. Liking is separate from these reviews.
Yes.
I don't know, during the day
That's your
on Twitter and
emotional
everything else, I learned to dislike you.
Cheerleader, I'm trying to put you guys up.
And we love our Gen Zers. Let that stand as the record.
Amen.
More Outnumbered in a moment.